Well, I know that we'll have a lot of people joining in, so I think just to respect everybody's time, we'll get started. Okay?
Let's go.
Good morning, everybody. I am Veronica Priscilla from the Boulder Area Realtor Association, and myself, along with our colleagues throughout the state, we have representatives from the Denver Metro District, the Denver Metro Association, the Aurora Association, South Metro Denver, Aspen, Durango, Steamboat Springs, Summit Association, Vail Board of Realtors, FARA, Fort Collins, Longmont, Loveland, Berthoud, and Greeley, also Pueblo, Pikes Peak in Colorado Springs, Royal Gorge, and Grand Junction. And boy, are we happy to have you all here. This is a really exciting event for us. So without further delay, I would love to introduce to you Jamie Nowak. Jamie Nowak has been a leading force in the real estate industry for over 2 decades. Starting her career as an agent in 1995, Jamie quickly began using the Buffini & Company referral systems and proceeded to double her income every year. She was then asked to manage her office, where she used the same principles to reverse a 6-figure deficit, increase profitability, and create a culture that was second to none, all within 16 months. Brian recruited her to join Buffini & Company in 2004 to bring her skills to a wider audience. She's trained thousands of professionals across North America on how to build a profitable business and fulfilling life. As Director of Corporate Development, she clears a path for industry leaders to build an irresistible office with healthy growth, and also inspires and motivates agents to become the very best in the business. There is nothing I can say bad about Buffini & Company and Jamie Nowak and how it has impacted the lives of our members throughout the state. And what a better time than now to get together in this forum and hear Jamie speak to us about what's important now. Jamie?
Veronica, thank you so much for that great introduction. And hello, Colorado. Oh my gosh, I'm excited to be with all of you today. First and foremost, I pray and send out vibes that you are well, your family is well, and everybody's doing really great in your world. I know these are interesting times, right? But here's what I know for sure. Real estate is rocking. And it's not just rocking in Colorado, it's rocking all over North America right now. And this was what we were, I think, hoping and praying for when we were all sheltered in place. So now we just have another higher set of higher quality problems, right? So my goal today is to share some encouragement, some systems, and some tools that you can take right when you get off this call, right when you're done listening to the recording, maybe later, that you can take and go use to make your business and life better, like right now. Amidst all the chaos, amidst every crazy and wonderful thing that is going on out in the world right now, we do have great control over just a few things. And so, you know, none of us were expecting this situation. None of us were expecting 2020. Welcome to the brand new date of the tax extension day, right? This is it right now. If you haven't done that, hopefully you'll be busy later and get your extensions filed. But what a crazy year so far. In February, we had one of our greatest months on record in the real estate industry. And then we all were sheltered in place. And in fact, California just rolled back. We had things opening up just like everybody else, and they have rolled all that back for us now at this point, and that's where I am today, still sort of sheltered in place here in California. And here's the thing, you know, nobody was expecting this, and we're all in a different boat. You know, we're all in a different boat. We all have different challenges. We all have different opportunities. We all have different situations at home and in our business, but the good news is we are all in the same storm. And when we get together like this, we can help each other. When we share ideas together, we can help each other. When we get the good information and the good news out about our real estate industry to our clients, to the consumer, to our database, we can make great things happen. So today I want to focus on, as Veronica said, I'm going to use my high tech right here. What's important now? What's important now? I have these just in case the technology isn't working all that well. You've all been there. You know what I'm talking about. So what's important now? And I love this acronym because it stands for WIN. And where I got this from was Coach Lou Holtz. In 2007, I had the amazing opportunity to meet the Hall of Fame coach. And when I was backstage talking with him, he shared a mindset with me that he gifted all of his players with that allowed them to turn around teams that were losing teams into winning teams. And then Notre Dame went undefeated. You guys know the story probably. But his mindset he gifted his players with is where I want to go today. And in fact, it's where I go every day because it was such an epiphany for me at the time. When we feel like we're out of control, when things are happening outside of our control, things that we can't control, the media, the economy, the politicians, all of that stuff, I want to focus on what I actually have control over. And that's exactly what Coach Lou told me. What's important now? He would ask his players to ask the question, what's important now? When they wanted to go to the party, when they wanted to eat all the bad food, what's important now? What is going to get me closer to my goals of having that great business and a good life? So there are actually 3 things that we have control over that we can ask ourselves every day, or sometimes moment by moment when we're thrown in the fire, what's important now? And our first, and I have these in order of priority, I promise you, because that's what the Irishman has taught me, is our mindset. And now more than ever, this is so important because it is so easy to get sucked into the negative news cycle. It is so easy to go down a road of, oh my gosh, my deals I've put together and spent all this time on aren't closing. They're taking longer. Clients are on the fence. They're not making decisions. Whatever we have going on, it's very easy to get sucked into the negative. It's very easy to go down that road, and lots of people will go there with you too, won't they? And so our mindset is the first thing that we have control over. And so the things that help me here, because this is a daily, and as I mentioned, sometimes hour by hour, sometimes moment by moment, where, okay, wait, what story am I telling myself? How can I shift and change the story? So I start every day with gratitude. And some days that's harder than others. But most days the list is longer than we could ever have time to list. And when we start that way in our mindset, and when we're grateful for what we have, even though we're not exactly where we want to be, or even though we have challenges and situations with our family, with our friends, with our business, with being isolated possibly, with being stuck, because we've got 2 sides here, it seems. We've got people in our industry that are out and they're making great stuff happen. And then we have the others that are like, hold on. I don't want people to think that I don't take their safety into account. Hold on. I don't want people to think that I'm callous and I don't care. And so we've got a distinct separation there. What we believe to be true is powerful. So I can't spend a ton of time here, but I just want to remind you, one of the greatest ways we can shift our mindset if it's going sideways, actually there's 2 things. Listing our grateful things that I just mentioned, and then helping someone else. These are the things that have gotten me out of dark places. And then what is your mental diet? Because you've heard it all before, what we put in is what will come out. And even if it's subconscious, even if you've got the news on in the background, even if you've got a negative person that's always in your ear, it does have an effect. And so it's important that we can counterbalance these things with the good stuff. So Brian Buffini's podcast, beautiful example. He has been doing 2 episodes every week since the quarantine began. And these are amazing episodes about real estate and the real news and good statistics and things you can share with your consumers and things you can share with your database that set you up to be a true professional in their eyes, even more than you already are. And so making sure you're putting in those good podcasts that you love listening to, that give you hope, that give you specific direction, that give you good things that you can go do in your life to make things happen. Reading those books, reading the inspirational passages, listening to the music that lifts you up, hanging out with those people that build you up instead of tear you down. This is our mental diet. And it's so crucial for how we approach situations. I have found in my own life, it gives me the capacity to handle what's coming at me, because the world will not stop turning. And we've all learned that in one way or another. And so it's what can we control in our environment to do our best to create the life and business that we truly want. Mindset is key. Make sure your mental diet is on point most of the time. You can watch Netflix here and there, sure, but mental diet primarily, try to lean into that good stuff more than the other. The second thing we have control over is our attitude, and that directly, obviously, is tied to the mindset. So if we can start the day in a great way with the gratitude, with putting in some good stuff, then that will naturally lead to a better attitude. However, is it possible during the daytime, during a real estate deal, transaction, interaction, conversation with clients, with family, with friends, is it possible for the attitude to shift a little bit? Is it possible to bound out of bed and be excited about your day, and then something happens out of your control or possibly inside of your control that you're like, this is the worst day ever? Is that possible? Of course it is. And so again, it's important to have tools in your toolbox when this happens, a list of things you can go to that will help you lift out of that place again, lift out of that negativity. What do you need to do? Do you need to go for a walk around the block? Do you need to go hang out with your furry friends for a little while and hang out with your lovely pets? Do you need to go and call a person that you love that lifts you up? Do you need to go and do your prayer or your meditation? Do you need to just take a time out and regroup and reset and move forward? Now, of course, there are some situations, there are some circumstances, there are some challenges that take us to our very knees. And we've all been there. And I'm not for one moment assuming that you're just going to bounce back from that, because we don't, because that's a whole different seminar, and that takes time and a process. I'm talking about these normal ebbs and flows in the day, things that are disappointments and things that can really hit us hard, but aren't necessarily tragedies. How can we bounce back from that faster? So we don't end up on the couch with a pint of Ben and Jerry's, watching the entire program of Netflix in one night. Once in a while, again, that's okay. But if we stay there too long, it is totally detrimental to our livelihood and to our lives. So having that list of things that you go to, I have my list in my journal. What are the things that can turn it around for me? So that when things do shift and change and they're going in the direction you don't want them to go in, is there some way? Is there something you can tap into that will lift you up, that'll help you move forward, that'll help you move onward through the adversity? Because adversity will never go away. And in fact, when we have big, scary, exciting goals, we have to expect adversity because it's coming for you. And you've all experienced it, where you set a big fitness goal or health goal, and you're doing your workouts and you're staying consistent and you're 2 weeks in, and then you have a little injury, right? Or you fall off the wagon and eat an entire pizza. And then you're like, well, what's one more drink on the Titanic, right? Adversity is coming for you if you have great plans. So it's real important that we keep that attitude in check the best we can, the best we can. And then understand that some days or some seasons, you're not going to be up. And that's okay too. And we've got to work through those, and we've got to learn from those, and we've got to grow through those. But in most cases, our attitude, our mindset can truly help us with everything else. And even if horrible things do strike, the mindset is key in how we handle those things that come at us. So two really important things. I know everybody right now wants to talk about, what about my business? So I want to go there for you right now for the rest of our time together mostly. But now the other thing we can control are our activities. So if we've got our mind right most of the time, if we keep our attitude on that positive trajectory the best we can, knowing that there are ebbs and flows, no one is up all the time, including myself. This is something we need to work at. This is something that needs to be intentional. Now, what do we do with that? And this is key. Activities. So I'm going to say one more thing about us and our lives and our health and because you are your most important asset in this business. And so often, and right now it's very dangerous, because right now, if you're out there in this real estate market and you're helping people buy and sell, we know it is a crazy, wonderful time, right? And it's very possible that you'll just keep working and working and working and working and working. Because you're working when people are working, you're working when people are not working, and we're not that great at setting boundaries around our personal and private time. We're afraid the lead will go away. We're afraid the client will be upset. We're afraid we'll lose out. And so that can tend to lead to overworking, never stopping, and burnout. So I have to just put a plug in here for everybody that you are your best asset for this business. And if you are not okay, eventually you will fall flat on your face and you won't be able to help anyone. Now, the human body is resilient. The human spirit is resilient. We can push ourselves much further than we should. And sometimes that's a good thing. But most of the time, every day, living in that fight or flight is bad for immunity. It's bad for your health. It's bad for stress. It's bad for overall everything. And so the number one thing I believe you need to do every single day as a self-employed entrepreneur or as an employee of a great organization or association, or as any human being, really, anyone that has roles, responsibilities, has goals, wants to move forward, is take care of yourself first. Take care of yourself first. I know it's countercultural. And well, that's selfish, Jamie. I can't do that. Have you seen my life? I have all these people that rely on me. I am a single mom. I am the major breadwinner. I have to make sure that all these things are happening. I'm taking care of kids. I'm taking care of parents. I'm taking care of my siblings. You know, I know there's a million different stories out there. So I'm not saying you carve out massive times for yourself if this is something you struggle with. I'm saying we start with 5 minutes a day, where you dial in, how are you? Where you do a quick circuit of working out, do a fast walk or run around the block, do some push-ups, do some squats, take some quiet time, do some journaling, see where you're at. Check in and do something good for yourself, physically, mentally. Because as I said, with the attitude and the mindset, all of this builds us up to have greater capacity, to feel better, to create awesome endorphins in our body. I mean, we have control over that. And if we're skipping it, if we're putting it aside, which we often do, myself included, because of all the wonderful, beautiful opportunities that are out there to be had and the people to serve and take care of. I get it, 100%. I get it. But if you struggle with this, this is a no matter what, as far as I'm concerned, in your activities. And let's start here. So if you have to get up 10 minutes earlier, I'm not saying be up at 4 in the morning. I do not get up at 4 in the morning. If you can start with 5 minutes a day, something for you that will help you and build you up and is a good habit, you are winning. You are winning. And then from there, let's talk about, what are the things that are, what's important now in your life first and foremost? Health, vitality, immunity, physicality, spirit, mind, body, all those things are important. Now let's go out from there. Who are the people that are most important? Make sure they're in your schedule. make sure that they're not getting your leftovers. Another casualty of our business, especially when it's rocking like this right now. And now is the time, really, in this weird space that we're in 2020, now is the time to decide how you want to move forward in your business, the boundaries that you want to set, the systems you want to put in place to serve people to the deepest level. Make sure your most important priorities are in your schedule. Every day if you can. Every day if you can. Again, doesn't have to be a huge quantity of time. It can just be a focused amount of quality time. And then from there, if we've taken care of ourselves, if we've carved in some time for our loved ones and our favorite pursuits or some things that make us happy and give us joy, then from there, we can shine our light for our clients, for our database, for our consumers. So many of you know Buffini and Company. Many of you know that our systems and the success of those systems are all built around this beautiful relationship with people and investing in the relationships that we already have for the opportunity to be introduced to new, other beautiful relationships. So you can see right here, I'm going to cover this lickety split, but your database, we believe, is your gold mine. It is your gold mine. Now more than ever, people need a trusted professional. Now more than ever. And the information out there isn't so great, is it? And it's certainly not, most of it is not really accurate about our industry. And all I have to do, can I get an estimate for that? I mean, this was even before all of this came down. And now it is off the rails, depending on what what camp you're in. So now more than ever, it's important that we know who is in our database and that we know, again, what's important now, who are our top people in our database. This is key. So real quick, I'm going to put this up for you. Your A+ clients are your best of the best. They've sent you multiple referrals. They're amazing people. They have grace and compassion when things go sideways and they help you make it right. Your A's are most likely to refer you. Your B's would refer you if you asked them. Hello. Very often, this is one of the huge struggles that we have in our industry. We want to give, we want to give, we want to give. I don't want to ask for anything. I don't want them to think I want something from them. They have no idea you would like another great lead by dinner time tonight. People have no idea how our business works. So when we're giving, when we're helping, when we're educating, you can ask. Your C's might refer you in the future. They're new additions to your database. Your O's are online contacts to be moved up or down to the D's, which are to be deleted from your database. Now, I could talk on this for days, but these are the people that when you see them ringing your phone or when you see them across the hall, you want to duck and run because they're negative, they're nasty. You could bend over more times backwards than an Olympic gymnast and it doesn't matter. They're never happy. The problem is we tend to hold on to those D's when we have nothing else going on. So we have to create great things happening, okay? This database is your gold mine more than ever. And so at Buffini and Company, most of you are, I know I have a lot of members on this call today. You know about our Referral Maker CRM. We make this process of downloading your list of people that know you and like you very, very simple in quick, easy steps. You can sort and qualify them as I just instructed, like within 20 minutes or less. You can see right here where you manage your relationships, you give them a ranking, and it's all right here for you to help you along the way with those rankings. And then this Referral Maker CRM is something that I'm so thrilled about. I didn't have this when I was an agent and a client of Buffini and Company. So now you can plug in your own personalized goals and it'll spit out the activities you need to do every single day to win the day. And then it'll pull up where you are in your neighborhood and who you could pop by, who's close to you that you could, drop and dash. Pop by with something valuable, keep socially distant, show them you appreciate them, dropping and dashing. And now when you use Referral Maker, this is a brand new iteration. It tracks your activities with one click from the dashboard. You can also record and send video messages when people aren't home and you're dropping and dashing. Or maybe you don't want to knock. Maybe you don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. You can record a message outside, show them some cool little thing you might have left, and keep moving on. But right now, you have a massive opportunity with this database, with the people that already know you and like you, to apply these 3 methodologies that we teach and train and coach on at Buffini & Company: contact, care, and community. And I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into that right now with all of you. So this is how we create critical mass. Like when you think tissues, who do you think of? You think of Kleenex. When you think of copiers, who do you think of? You think of Xerox. Well, we want, when people think of real estate, we want them to think of you. And so the first piece, again, these are in order of priority, of creating critical mass in your database is adding people, continually adding fresh new people to your database is key. Because even my mom, who's been in the industry for over 35 years, when her business is stagnant and not much is happening, I can always point back to one of 2 things. The first one is she hasn't added a new person to her database in a while, okay? Because she's got a pretty awesome one, doesn't she? But if we don't keep adding fresh people, it gets stuck and stagnant. So don't forget to let people know in your database, when you see them, when you talk to them, I'm never too busy to answer questions to help any of your friends or family members along the way. So we got our next piece here where we're going to give and provide value and show that we care, give excellent service, and these things along the way. And don't worry about, I've got this special treat for you that you can download later, so you don't have to try to take pictures of it quickly. This is our little gift for you. But we're going to continue adding people to the database. We're going to show care by giving excellent service, providing value. And then when we do that, we can ask for the referral. We can say, you know, I know it is a wild time out there. Just know that I'm a resource for you. If you need a service provider because you feel like you want to do some improvements in your home, which who doesn't feel like doing that right now? Or if you need to know more information about the interest rates right now, which are lower than they've ever been in the history of real estate. And so why are we waiting on the fence? I'm not sure. But I'm here to help you, right? And I'm never too busy to help your friends, your family members, your work associates. If we do not ask, people do not know. I promise you that. The next piece here is to actually open yourself up to send out the energy that you can receive the referral. Instead of being wound tight, you know, and freaking out, make sure you're given the energy of, hey, I'm never too busy for your referrals. Even real estate is really awesome right now. It's really lots of great opportunity. I'm never too busy to help anybody that you know. And then we want to acknowledge and appreciate when we get those golden referrals. As a quick personal note that I always have in my drawer, thank somebody. $5 Starbucks card was my go-to because that was my little treat of choice, right? Doesn't have to even be anything like that. It could just be the personal note that says, thank you so much for your confidence and support. But don't wait to acknowledge that referrer until something closes down the road. Acknowledge and appreciate it immediately so that we can show them, yes, this is what we want. This is what we want for our business. We want to help you. We want to help them. And then we want to turn that new lead you've received into an advocate. So this is how we create critical mass in our database right now, today, and it continues to move and move. So if your business isn't generating the number of referrals that you'd like right now, use this to say, okay, where is it not working? What am I not doing? Because if one thing is off, it'll all be a little bit off. So as I promised, this free special gift for all of you that have shown up today. We appreciate your time and grateful for you to be here. You can go to buffiniandcompany.com/Colorado2020 and you can download this. And I really recommend you post it up next to your phone, in your workstation, in your home office, in your office, at the office, you know, wherever you find yourself to be productive. This is a reminder. These are like the vital signs of working by referral. And it's a huge piece to creating critical mass in your business. So there's three things I want to speak to right now that I think what's important now to serve and succeed with our clients. And in fact, this actually applies to family, friends. It applies to all humans, actually. Let's just say that. But we can take the specific bent of working on my business. The number one thing you can do right now in this uncertain time is connect with people. Connect with people. You know, everybody's handling this differently, as I mentioned, and we're not out of the woods yet. And that is, you know, we see it every day. And California's just rolled back what they had opened up, and, you know, other people may follow or not. We really just don't know. And nobody's been in this before. And so now more than ever, isolation is very dangerous. So the number one thing I've seen our clients do, our best clients, is reach out with this weapon of mass distraction and make a phone call. I mean, I know it's 9th or 10th on the list of what we actually use these things for. But right now, more than ever, and many of us did this right away when we were sheltered in place, and we're like, how is everybody? How are you doing? So time has passed, but people are still in different storms, different boats in the storm. Now more than ever, the most important thing you could do is pick this up and call someone and check in. How are you? What's going on? Is there any way I can help? It's the number one thing that you can do, because that does the second thing that I want to do, which is show people that we care and continue showing them. This has been a long time that we've been going through all of these different things in our country and in our world. Connection and care are key. And then as you're doing that, I think our opportunity right now, we have the opportunity right now in this chaos and in the horrible things that are happening and in the good things that are happening, we have the opportunity right now to have our finest hour. We do. To create a better future, to create a better business. And connection, care, and then education is really important. And so we have our best clients that are doing this all over the board, and I'm going to share some really cool examples with you right now. But I just want to set the tone. My husband and I were sitting outside here in Southern California in our front yard, which we've never done before this 4 months that we've been sheltered in place, and it's quite lovely, actually. So again, I have to be grateful for the amazing things that have come out of this, even through all of the craziness. I have to just go off on a tangent here and say, oh my gosh, the time that I've had with my children, unheard of, would have never happened. The time that we've taken to do special things as a family together, it'll never be replaced. And so my husband and I were sitting out on the stoop. Southern California, doesn't happen very often, being very honest here. And one of our neighbors was walking by. We're interacting, socially distancing with the neighbor. And for some reason, she starts talking about real estate. I don't know if I'm a magnet for that or what, but my husband also runs a real estate office, and I'm surrounded by real estate. And the lady says, I cannot wait for this real estate crash to happen. Now, this was probably a month ago. I can't wait for the real estate crash to happen so my kids can finally buy a home in Southern California. They'll actually be able to get into the market. And my husband and I looked at each other like, what, is she nuts? Like, where did she get this information? And we said, gosh, you know, we understand that you would be excited about something like that so your kids could buy a house here, but that's not happening. and we're both in the industry, like deep in the industry, and that's not happening. And in fact, when we come out of this, we are going to be rocking and rolling in real estate. And just for a moment, let's just think about what's in our future. We're already seeing it with the low inventory and the low interest rates. You know, it's going gangbusters, and it's going to continue. And that low inventory is going to continue. And those low interest rates are going to continue. And she was like, so my point here is we have to educate people because we don't know what they're listening to. We don't know what their mental diet is. But we know there's a lot of people that are on the news, and we know that that isn't always accurate. So it's really incumbent on us as real estate professionals to reach out and share with people the real news of each neighborhood, each marketplace, because real estate is local, right? And so we need to let them know, what could you do right now to refresh your home without leaving it? Or what is our market doing right now? We could do videos out to our database. We could do videos out to Facebook or Instagram to just say, hey, here's a little snapshot of what's going on in our area. We need to educate people. So once again, don't forget the Brian Buffini Show podcast. Please subscribe to that. There are so many great resources there for you alone, for your mental diet, and to help your consumer understand what's actually happening in our industry today. And it comes from, you know, an industry expert, right? So anytime it's somebody from 50 miles or more away, they're an industry expert. So this is beautiful stuff. I want to share with you what some of our best clients are doing, and then we could open it up for questions if anybody has any. But I've got Joanne Zabrowski in Eugene, Oregon. And what she did right away when Oregon went into lockdown is they put together these marketing materials that show people and educate their clients on how they can help them buy or sell real estate right now during this time. And I think that's really important, because there are people, again, that I said they want to go out there and they want to break free from all this. And there are other people that are very, very cautious. They don't know how we can serve them. They don't know how we could help them buy something right now. They don't know how we could help them sell something right now. And so I really think some other activities that you could be really, you know, carving out just a little bit of time for, because I know you're super busy. I know you're super busy in this marketplace right now if you've got yourself out there. But your systems and your skills right now are paramount, and making sure that we're continuing to spend just a little bit of time each day or each week on continuing to bless that opportunity, right? What system, what gaps do you have in your business? Do you have things like this that Joanne and her team have put together? Here's how we can help you if you're looking to buy. Great things to do. We've got an office in Charlottesville, Virginia, and a lot of people have followed suit that are doing how to sell or buy your home during COVID-19, and they're doing buyer and seller seminars. They're doing like with the office as a whole, where it's a group office effort. Each agent invites their database, anybody that's interested, any prospects that they have, that everybody shares on social media channels everywhere, so it creates more traffic and more buzz. They get their service providers involved. They keep the message simple and valuable with a call to action. If you want, you know, our 5 top tips for buying in this market, you know, click here. If you want the 5 biggest mistakes that people make when they list their home, click here, whatever it is. But have a few prizes and giveaways. But reach out. We have more people showing up on these Zoom opportunities than they do in person. So you don't have to recreate the wheel either. And you don't have to know how to do it perfectly before you try, because nobody knows how to do it before you really do it. So you just kind of got to dive in and make great things happen. Okay, so these buyer and seller seminars are working beautifully. They're reaching thousands of people. And the cool thing about the virtual aspect of it is, just like this one, it lives on. It's not like one in-person event that you can't duplicate. It lives on. Which brings me to, let's talk about listings for a moment, because everybody needs a good listing like 5 minutes ago or yesterday. And so here's a great idea from Melinda Ennis in Indianapolis, Indiana. She got a listing in her neighborhood that has 240 people in it. And what she did is she sent out a mailing to all 240 people with information about that listing. But on top of it, she said, here's how we're keeping you and your neighborhood safe. We understand this is a scary time. You may be concerned with the extra traffic in your neighborhood. Here's a list of safety precautions that we're taking. She sent this out, and within the week, she had 7 inquiries from that neighborhood of, oh my gosh, I would like to know more about our neighborhood and the market, and how have our values shifted or changed? Because if you're watching the stock market, you may think that they've dipped. And in most cases, that's just not the place. So this was a beautiful idea that she came up with, and that allowed her to add new people to her database, and allowed her to show that she's a trusted advisor and professional and a neighborhood specialist. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Another great idea here from Brandy Karcheski, in case you're wondering how to pronounce that last name. I know I was. But she's in Phoenix, Arizona, And on Facebook, she has several of her clients in different demographic places in Facebook. She's got private groups. Some people put their A pluses different from their B's and C's. And so there's so many great opportunities there on how you can stay in touch via Facebook, via Instagram, and continue to provide value and benefit. But Brandy posted this in May and said, who needs a current property valuation delivered to your door? I'll give you a market summary for your home and a free hand sanitizer. I have 10 ready to go. Within 24 hours, she had 5 people say, yes, please. And believe me, she got rid of the 10 she had ready to go. And this is now a new system that she has in place in her business. And you can see the tag, little tag, spread love, not germs. So many good things you can do here. And we have all of these resources and tools available for you at buffiniandcompany.com/BC resources. Just so you know, buffiniandcompany.com/BC resources. More than you could ever use. I promise you that. Next great one. You know, I know there's a lot of indecision and people are freaking out about open houses. Do it virtually. Again, this lives on. This is something that you can schedule a specific time and day for. You can promote that live showing to realtors, to buyers, to people in your neighborhood. Here's Robert Comandari in Baltimore, Maryland. He recommends you do a rehearsal walkthrough before you start recording because he got stuck in the basement with no Wi-Fi. So make sure you can tap into the seller's Wi-Fi if possible, and then just be brave. Don't worry about being perfect. Just be brave. Ask for comments, questions, feedback, and then record and repost. And that's the beautiful thing. This is something that could live on your website, on Instagram, on Facebook. It'll get far more viewings over time than you trying to sit in a home for 4 hours. This is a very effective use right now of your time and energy. So Rob has much more about this at talktorob.com if you want very detailed tips on how he did this. But again, don't get too caught up in overthinking it. We got to go take action right now. We got to show up right now. We got to connect, care, and educate right now. Another few ideas, Ann Brinkley in Midlothian, Virginia. She has, I know many people, most people probably have the PPE Station right now outside of their listings. Ann does the little baggie that has little booties and has the mask and has a hand sanitizer and gloves for everybody when they come into the listing. And then there's a place to dispose of everything when they leave the listing. Again, another way to show that you're a pro, that show that you care, show, you know, that this is how we do things today. This is what we expect. This is how we do it here. And we have your best interest at heart. We are the professionals. So there's another picture of that up close. Great stuff. And they're doing great things in their neighborhood. I mean, the ideas are endless here. The point is to do something. Do something good for people. Mary Beth Eisenhard in Gainesville, Virginia, she's been doing business spotlight interviews. So this is a great thing right now for our small businesses. There are a lot of people struggling. But Mary Beth took a very business focus here in regards to who is in and around our real estate industry. So in this picture here, she's doing a quick 10-minute interview with her lender to say, here's how things have changed right now. Here's the pitfalls of qualifying right now. Here are the pitfalls of forbearance. Before you make a choice like that, contact your trusted advisor, right? So you can clear up any misconceptions out there. So Mary Beth did this with a financial planner. She did this with a healthcare benefits worker. She did this with somebody that was very in touch with the amounts of help that we're getting from the government, possibly, if you've put in for that, and her lender, and anybody else that you can think to come to mind. If you have a question about it, your clients do too. So she invited her database, she sent out the email. Again, people are attending in record numbers, and if they can't attend when you do it, you can record it and send it out later. Beautiful stuff. I wanted to just share one of our great members in your neck of the woods in Fort Collins, Colorado, Josh Forrester. He has been a coaching client for a very long time with us, and he does the work, and he follows the systems, and he listens to his coach. And I just have to show a little testimonial here from one of our great clients that invests in himself and invests in our systems. In 6 years of coaching, his GCI went from 72,000 to 300,000, working less than 40 hours a week. So Josh is a great professional in our eyes. He's a great member of ours too. So these are what our people are doing out there every single day. And I know it's what all of you are doing too. And if you're stuck, if you're feeling, you know, like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to do any of this, I would ask you to take one small step forward. I would ask you to choose one thing you can do. Make a few phone calls. You know, if you're like freaking out about being on video, then do a quick one just to your A pluses. It's those 5 minutes for ourselves that matter. It's taking that small step towards building a better system in your business, reaching out, connecting, caring, educating. And I love this quote from Mary Kay Ash, one of my business heroes for sure. This is how we work at Buffini & Company. I know this is how Veronica and your Association of Realtors in Colorado, that's why we're having this event today. Pretend that every single person you meet has a sign around his or her neck that says, make me feel important. And not only will you succeed in sales, you will succeed in life. Beautiful, beautiful words to live by. And so I invite you once again, we have so many, we have too many, in fact, great resources and tools for you at buffiniandcompany.com/Colorado 2020. In fact, if you're feeling stagnant in the areas of your life, in your business, in your personal circle, in your family circle, in your spiritual circle, in your financial circle, Brian Buffini has created during this pandemic, he's created a little program that's called 5 Circle Fit that I highly recommend, totally free to you. And he's given you action steps on how to create a better spiritual life, a better family life, a better business life, a better financial life. And, you know, I don't know about you, but I love to learn from other great, successful people that have a heart to serve. And that is my boss, Mr. B, for sure. And this program has helped me along. If you're stuck, or even if you're not stuck, but you're out of control with opportunity and there's too much of it, we've got to remember to get dialed back to what's important now. What is important now? And make sure you ask yourself that question every single day as you're planning out your schedule, as you're choosing the activities that you're going to invest in. Make sure that they matter. Don't get stuck in the thick of very thin things out there. Make sure that you focus on what you actually have control over. Mindset, attitude, and these great activities that lead to a great, great business and a good life. Once again, you can get this little giveaway at buffiniandcompany.com/Colorado 2020. And that's what I have for you today. So I'm grateful for all of you being here. Veronica, I don't know if there are any questions, if there's anything else I can do in the last moments that we have here together. I'm grateful for this opportunity to share with so many amazing professionals there in Colorado.
I don't see any questions, Jamie, but I just do want to remind all the participants that we will be sending you all of the links that Jamie mentioned, and we'll also be sending you the link for the recording so that if you need to just rewatch to get a little bit more inspiration, it will be available to you. And I know for sure that Brian Buffini's podcast made a huge difference for me personally in the very beginning of all of this. Just tune into the rolling start. It is inspirational. Cannot thank you enough, Jamie, for taking the time to be with us today. And I hope everyone got something. Golden nuggets were flowing out of Jamie's mouth. So I hope that you will take advantage of them and just repeat, repeat, repeat.
Beautiful, Veronica. Thank you so much. Great to see everybody today. Blessings.
Bye.
Bye-bye.